Hello, hello. How is everybody doing today? So, I want to share some information from Leolah Brown, which is Bobbi Brown Senior, of course, is known as the R&B singer. Sister. Hello, how's everybody doing? Thank you for coming through. Let me pull up the video. It took forever for YouTube to look at this video, and so that way I could share it with you guys. So give me 1 second. Let me pull it up. How's everybody doing in the chat? Thank you for coming through. But yeah, this information right here, I don't know if y'all already heard it, but if you did, what do y'all think? Do you believe what she's saying? It's not far-fetched, y'all. It's not far-fetched. All right, let me go ahead and share it. All righty, here we go. If y'all ready, let me bring it up.
We're going to start with Whitney Houston. Whitney Houston's body told anybody upon looking at it that it was foul play. Okay, don't get it twisted. No, Whitney Houston, I counted at least 10 gashes in her chest alone. She had marks up and down her legs. Her fingernails were chipped. Her face was busted out. It was blown up. Yes, as if somebody was punching her in the face. Whitney Houston fought for her life. Yes, she did. Excuse me, let me have a drink of water. Whitney fought for her life. Whitney had skin taken off her back. There was so many things wrong with Whitney's body. I mean, it told anybody. And like I said, her security, Ray, told me that room, Whitney's room, looked like a tornado hit it. So it was a fight. It was a struggle. Okay? Yes.
So are you guys listening to what she's saying? It was a fight. It was a struggle. Meaning, like she said, it was like some tornado hit it, meaning like somebody tore it up. Somebody was fighting. Okay, so we're starting with Whitney right now. She's talking about Whitney. She's talking about there's some fighting going on. Okay, there was some fighting going on. I don't know if y'all believe this or not, but as you can see, I do have allegedly up on my screen. Fair use is also on my screen. So I'm going to go ahead and play a little bit more. And I'm going to talk through it because I don't want to get, YouTube getting upset with me. All right, so here we go.
Yes, it was. Pat knew this, Gary knew this, but they also did something else when before the authorities got there to the hospital with Whitney. Pat and Gary staged the scene. Yes, I have an eyewitness that was there that watched them go in and out of the room after Whitney's body laid there. And they were taking things out from one room to the next. Pat and Gary did this. So Whitney's body definitely denoted that there was foul play. Okay? All of her bruises told us what happened in that room.
So you're listening? They're saying on the autopsy, right? On the report, allegedly, it's saying that she had gashes, bruises, like she was fighting back. Defensive wounds. Okay, that's what she's telling us. Now y'all can believe her or you don't believe her. Me, my opinion, from what I heard, with everything that she has been mentioning, I believe her. I'm sorry, y'all. I believe her. So now it's up to you, your opinion, to believe her or not to believe her. But let's go ahead and go with this. Let me go ahead and go ahead with the video.
Whitney fought for her life. There was no drugs in her system. The coroner report states that there was no drugs in Whitney Houston's system. Okay, so let's stop saying that she died of an overdose. I'm sick of seeing that in the media.
That's another thing. I don't understand. Why are they trying to, if she didn't have anything in her system, okay, because remember, She was, this is what was said, is that she was using it, allegedly that she was using, right? She lost her voice and all this stuff that was being, we're not flies on the wall to see if she was actually doing stuff or people were accusing her of doing things. I don't know. All I know is that she, remember they said she was rehabilitated, right? Because she started going back singing and doing her thing like she used to before they said she started using. Allegedly. I have to say allegedly. Okay.
That's not the case with Whitney. No, she didn't have any drugs in her system. Bobbi Christina was beaten in her living room. Go and look at the police report. Bobbi Christina was beaten in her living room by Nick Gordon.
She's saying she was beaten. All right. She was beaten by her boyfriend at the time of her unaliving.
He beat her down with Danielle in her condo, Max Lomas, and Danielle. What's Danielle's last name? I got it coming out in the book, but that's okay. Danielle, who was somebody that Chrissy
and Leolah Brown does have a book coming out.
He was not even friends with anymore. Okay, so what was she doing in my niece's house? Yeah, we're talking about all this in the book. Nick beat Chrissy down into like a fetal position.
So basically, also Bobbi Christina Brown was also fighting for her life. So I'm going to play this video and I'm going to let you guys listen to it for yourself. But from my understanding is like they were coming for her first and then they're going to go for the mom. But instead, the other way, it happened the other way. Hey, Miss Chicago, how are you? Thank you for coming through. Hey, Jermaine, how are you? Thank you for coming through. I don't know if you guys heard about this, but when I heard this, I said, I have to share it. I have to share it.
She was screaming and crying, asking him, why was he doing this to her? Because she didn't know. But it was a setup. It was a setup. Yes. Nick was told not to let her go out of that house and to do whatever it was he got paid to do that for. Okay? Yeah, that's the deal. Nick Gordon was not somebody that grew up with Bobbi Christina either. No, he was not. He did not grow up with her. Nobody never met him. Bobby, my brother, never met Nick.
Now, see, that's another thing I don't understand because they were saying they knew each other from when they were 12 years old. And supposedly he moved in with Whitney and them, allegedly, right? And now all of a sudden they didn't even know each other until like prior to her mom passing. Keep listening, y'all. Keep listening. Listen really closely because I listened to this at least 3 or 4 times.
Okay, Nick was brought into the picture after Bobbi and Whitney's divorce. Okay?
After Bobbi and Whitney's divorce. That's when he came into play, which is Nick. That's when he came in. At least allegedly. That's what she's saying, y'all.
So basically right before Whitney was murdered, Nick was brought into the picture. Okay, and if you ask me who would bring him in, I would tell you Pat Houston. Yes. Yes. She set everything up. Okay, we're going to talk today. We're going to talk. I'm going to talk to you.
You heard
because
that,
it's obvious that Pat brought him in. And when Nick did that to Bobbi Christina and she was rushed to the hospital, because after he beat her and drug her up them steps, he shot her up with something and threw her in the bathtub and knocked her teeth out of her mouth. Yes, my sister Tina's here with me right now, reminding me of things. Okay, so yes, Nick did all that.
That's another thing. If this is what happened, allegedly, if this is what happened, this man beat her and then ugged her, okay? Ugged with a DR. And then he unalived her, okay? If this is what it is. 2 teeth. Yep. 2 teeth. They said it. Look, listen. I'm going to put it again. Knocked her teeth out.
And she was rushed to the hospital because after he beat her and drug her up them steps, he shot her up with something and threw her in the bathtub and knocked her teeth out of her mouth. Yes, my sister Tina's here with me right now.
Her teeth out her mouth.
Reminding me of things. Okay, so yes, Nick did all that.
Now I do have her autopsy and her mom's and Whitney's autopsy. Okay, autopsy. I'm just letting y'all know right now. I do have those. If you guys are interested in looking at it, put a yes in the chat and we can go over it. I'm just saying I have it.
Also, I was getting ready to say something. After Nick did all that to Bobbi Christina, he was on, I wanted to get his story. So my nephew, Gerard Brown, called him
and by the way, why does Nick have some bruising around his nose? Like right here, I don't know if you guys can see it. Right here, he's got like somebody hit him. Could this be from defensive wounds? I wonder. Just saying.
He was on a tape. He said,
listen to this.
Gerard, and I had 10 people in my living room. Some of Whitney's family was there. And the Browns were there, and some of my friends. So there are plenty witnesses. They all heard Nick on the tape. Gerard is on the phone with him, and he asked, "What happened? Tell me what happened. How did Chrissy end up in the bathtub?" And he just went to talking all hysterical, and he was scared. He said, "I'm not going down for this. I'm not going down for this." He said, "I'm not going down for this one." He said, I saved Pat with Whitney. I'm not going down for Chrissy because I already saved Pat with Whitney. So what did he save you for, Pat? How did he save you? Huh? Is that why he's not living right now? I don't know.
See that? So she's saying, allegedly, that they were talking to Nick on the phone. Pat is supposed to be Whitney's mom. Because, if I remember correctly, allegedly, Whitney was adopted, or that's not her real mom. Yeah. You're going to hear it on here. She's not blood relative of her. You'll hear it on here.
No, talk to me. Because Nick is no longer here to tell the story. Okay? So we're going to keep this.
And that's another thing. That they also unalive Nick because Nick is no longer around either. And he knew information and he said it. He told them, I'm not taking this one. I am not taking this one. Pat had me take the one for Whitney, but I'm not taking the one for Bobbi Christina. You heard it. You heard it with your own ears. Allegedly, I have to say.
We're going to keep this real. All right? And I'm going to say this. I hope that you all don't think that I'm talking with anger right now. I'm just being passionate about this because I am so tired of seeing the media talk about Whitney Houston. They're writing up things. They keep saying that she was murdered. She murdered, death by overdose. No, Whitney Houston didn't have any drugs in her system. Okay, so and neither did Bobbi. Bobbi Christina was beaten into that bathtub, and then when she.
Let's see. Hold on. Let's see. So what, Pat? Who inherited everything? That's exactly what was. This is what she's going to be telling us at the as well on this video. She is going to mention the estate, the reason behind all these things that's going on this video.
She entered the hospital. She snapped out of the coma quickly.
And look, they kept saying that Bobbi Christina, okay, the daughter, was in a coma. Yes, she started in a coma, but guess what? She snapped out of the coma, but she was not able to speak.
She was not in a coma for a long time. No, Bobbi Christina, every single time I walked in her room, me and my sister Tina together, Bobbi Christina was up. Her eyes were wide open. And I asked the nurse or doctor, I said, she never sleeps. She was always aware and up. She wanted to know who was in her room. And she looked you dead in your face. And when I walked in the room to see her, she said, She was so excited to see me. She kept trying to talk to me. The doctors saw this. They were like, oh my God, she's so excited to see you. She was trying to communicate with me, but she couldn't talk. But she was up. Bobbi knows this. Bobbi Christina was up every single day. That girl was scared to go to sleep. She was up watching TV. Bobbi was.
When she says Bobbi knows this, she's talking about her dad. She's talking about Bobby Brown, the singer. Because his son's name is Bobby Jr., okay? So we'll just say senior and junior. All right.
Sometimes come to her room and feed her popsicles and okay. So let's get out of that. Y'all, you got that idea in your head that my niece was in a coma and she was not aware and she was unresponsive. And yes, she was like that, of course, in the beginning, but she came out of that. Bobbi Christina was strong. And Dr. Jolly showed them where he could bring her brain back 100%. The doctors had even told us she would be fine after about 6 months. They said it would be a little slow process, but she's doing wonderful. It wasn't until the Houstons came into that hospital.
Listen carefully.
Christina communicated to her father that she did not want none of them near her bed. But they came in there and they did something to my niece. There's no way I'm going to let somebody tell me that they didn't. They did. Because then there pops up an impersonating nurse. And then Pat was going in the room by herself all the time. And we didn't know this. She only did it when...
Now, this was, she's talking about Pat going into the room while Bobby was out of town. Every time that he was out of town, nobody was around. This is when they would come in. So, allegedly, could they have done something to make her go into hospice? Keep listening.
When Bobby went out of town. Yes. So something was done to my niece because she was supposed to come home with us. Bobbi Christina was healing. Okay? And Bobby Jr., his case, I'm sorry. My nephew was homeless in California and he called me. And he said, Auntie Lily, I have nowhere to go. I have a friend, a Facebook friend. And this is not somebody that's going to tell a lie for me, so don't.
So this is what she's saying. This is what I'm getting from what she's saying. The reason why they did say that they didn't want certain people to come in there. She did mention that she didn't want them to come in there, but they were still coming around when he was out of town. Like he would be gone and they would go, you know, I don't know. Maybe they were paying the security people. I mean, they're hiring people to unalive Whitney and her daughter, allegedly. Okay, just saying. And Bobby Jr. Keep listening.
I don't think that that's what's going on because I didn't even know her then. I had just made a Facebook post and said, "Who's in LA and up right now? Please respond to me." And my friend Tawana in LA responded to me, and she.
Now listen to this. Listen to this about Bobby Jr. and why he's homeless. The reason behind this, allegedly, if this is what happened, I cannot believe Bobby allowed it to happen like this.
She said, "I'm up." I said, "Please call me." And I asked her if she could take my nephew in because he was in the streets in LA. And I had no idea. And I asked him, "What happened, little Bobby?" He said that his father's wife, Alicia, did not want him in his father's house. And he...
Did you hear that? Alicia, his father's wife, did not want him in the house. Keep listening now.
Anything. Little Bobby is a very respectful young man. He said, "I don't know why she doesn't want me in the house, so I can't stay with my father. And I don't know nobody in California. I'm just out here in the street." He said, "I lost my job." He was working, struggling, trying to get his music on, paying his own way. But the job that he held down, he got fired on because he had an argument or a fight with somebody that kept picking on him about him being Bobby Brown's son and working a 9-to-5. That's why little Bobby didn't have a job no more. These people kept bothering him every day of his life.
Do you guys get this part? Allegedly, this is what happened, that he lost his job behind them teasing him. Like they were saying, Hey, why would you have a 9 to 5 if your father is Bobbi Brown? Like, they were just messing with him. Why is it any of your business? That's what I want to know. Why is it any of your business? Why didn't the supervisor say, hey, leave him the heck alone? Allegedly.
Then my friend Tawana takes him in. I sent him money. I cashed up him money for food and the things that he needed. I thanked Tawana for keeping him, and she went and picked him up in LA and everything and brought him to her house. It was days after that little Bobby was found dead in a condo that is in Alicia's name. And
did you hear that? In Alicia's name. Bobbi Brown's wife's name. That's what the condo's under her name, allegedly, is what she just said.
He wasn't found dead until my brother Bobby left LA and came to Atlanta, and we were having dinner in a restaurant together. And little Bobby FaceTimed his father, and we were all sitting there looking at Bobby. Little Bobby looked so healthy and clean. He didn't look like he had ever did a drug in his life. And the next day he was dead. Oh yes, this is what happened, you all. Come on. So there's foul play with everybody, especially Whitney and Chrissy. Whitney was most definitely murdered. Bruises all up and down her legs, her fingernails were chipped, her lip was busted, her face was swollen, like somebody was punching her in the face.
Are you guys listening to this? This is the second time she said it, and she says it. She doesn't make anything different. It's the same thing with the bruises, the busted up face, the defensive wounds. What is the lady's name? Her name is Leolah. It's Leolah Brown. And that's Bobbi Brown's sister. Bobbi Brown Sr.'s sister.
Called me. I went to the body viewing. I flew into New York, went to my hotel, and just as I'm getting ready to go to her body viewing, Whitney's cousin called me screaming and crying. She said, Lily, who did this to her? I said, what's going on? She said, I just seen Nippy, and her face is all big and popped up and busted up like somebody punched her in the face. Yes, they had Whitney laying in the casket like that. But you could see her then at the body viewing, but the funeral, they had a closed casket on Whitney because she was so messed up. Okay? So Whitney Houston, no, she was murdered. Her room looked like a tornado hit it. So Whitney was fighting for her life. Why didn't her brother Gary and Pat get in the media and tell that? Why? Why didn't they reveal that to the public, that somebody murdered Whitney? I know why. They did it. Okay? So no, Whitney Houston was murdered. Let's get that straight. Bobbi Christina was murdered by Pat Houston. Yes. She did not want Chrissy to come out of hospice. First of all, I believe.
And another thing is, I know if you guys, if you haven't heard it yet, there was a situation at the part where when they were in Whitney Houston's room at the hotel, and like she's going to be mentioning it. If I didn't miss it, I was paying attention to the chat. She says that Whitney does not take baths. She doesn't take baths. She doesn't use the bathtubs in hotels. She may use them at home, but not in hotel. See, I'm the same way. I don't care which one I'm at. I'm not getting in that tub. You got people, all kinds of people getting in them tubs. No. Not happening. I don't care how expensive the tub is or how expensive the hotel is. She just doesn't use bathtubs in hotels. Doesn't mean she doesn't use them at all. She just doesn't use them in the hotel. This is interesting. Yes, it is. So is she saying that Pat played a part in Whitney? Yes. Whitney's and Bobbi Christina's, and most likely Bobby Jr. allegedly. I have to say allegedly, you know that, right? Because I don't know the lady from hair to hair. I'm just going by the video that she did. So basically, they're saying that when Whitney Houston passed, she didn't have Uggs in her system like that, right? Unless they put some in her, because As a matter of fact, I think she didn't have any in it. Bob, I don't think she did. I have to go look. I have to look in the what you call it papers. I haven't looked at them. What I did is I put them on my email so that way if you guys are interested in looking at her autopsy, I can share it with you guys. But also she said that they were running back and forth. They were, setting it up. So when the cops get there, it'll look like it was homicide, okay? With a S. Yeah. All right.
I believe she put Bobbi Christina there in hospice. She wanted her to leave that hospital and go directly into hospice because Chrissy was coming home with us. The nurses said that she would be fine. We could take her home and she would be fine. Give it about 6 months. But then she ends up going into hospice? Somebody did something to my niece.
See, that's another thing. They were telling her at the hospital, they were telling her aunt right here, Leolah, allegedly, they were telling her that and she says she has a book. She's got a book out and she's got proof of some of this stuff, okay? She's got proof on this stuff that she's mentioning. The thing she knows for sure, she's got proof on it. This is what she says. But basically what she's saying is that she went into hospice, even though the doctors and the nurse, I don't know about the fake nurse, but the nurse, because she said there was a fake nurse there, allegedly. That could have been the person that did something to her, and that's who caused her demise the rest of the way. Because she was in a hospital, she was in a short coma, she was all messed up, and then she came back. Like she said earlier, she did come out of the coma. She wasn't speaking. But all of a sudden, they tell her, "Oh yeah, in 6 months she should be better. She should be good." And then all of a sudden, she ends up in hospice. Come on now, please explain to me how that goes. All right, here we go. Let me play.
Oh yeah, and it's easy. It's obvious to figure out what's really going on. Impersonating nurse. Where is she? She better be in jail. She better be in jail. Yes.
And the reason why I was thinking the nurse might have been the one that did something, allegedly, is because if you ever watch Lifetime movies, let me tell you something about Lifetime movies. Majority of them, I'm talking more than half of them, more than probably 75% of them, are actually about things that has actually happened. And they went and just put actors and actresses in it. But it's true. It's something that actually happened. And I've seen multiple videos where the nurse is hired to pump medication in people's, tubes, right? Nurse, add noon hospital notice. No, I don't know if none of them noticed it or not. I'm not sure. I know that if you could come and dress like a nurse and get away with stuff nowadays. I mean, you got a lot of people who just don't pay attention. They feel like they're not getting paid enough money, so they're not going to do their job like their 100% job. In my opinion, my thoughts on that. I'm just saying. I just feel like that's what might have happened here.
To talk to you all and let you all know this, because there are no drugs involved with none of their bodies. No, none of them. It might have been found in little Bobby's body, but that was because it was put there. Little Bobby wasn't getting high off of nothing. No, and Bobbi Christina, she cried out for somebody to help her. And that boy, Max Lomez, and that girl, Danielle, sat there and let Nick beat her up like that. And stomp her and drag her up those steps without even calling 911 or trying to get him off of her. None of them helped her. So they was not her friends. No. They were trying with Bobbi Christina. They tried to put her in the bathtub in the Beverly Hilton at first. Then, on top of that, when Chrissy didn't die, when she got home after Whitney was found, they planted a knife in her tire for her to have a car accident.
Keep listening.
They planted that. I have evidence. Bobbi Christina was a good driver, by the way. They forced her into that car to drive it. So she had an accident, lost control, because they stuck a knife in the tire. Oh, yeah. They were trying their best to kill Chrissy. All of this for Whitney Houston's estate. Yes.
There
you
you
can
go.
believe it if you want to. You don't have to. You can take it or leave it. But that's what it's all about at the end of the day.
Money.
Yes. And these are our people. Our people. Of course, it may be somebody else involved. It probably is. I don't have proof of. Everybody wants to say, well, it was
Listen
private,
who she thinks is involved.
That may be so, but I don't have that proof of that. I have proof of things that Pat Houston did, Nick Gordon, Gary Houston, Ray J. Ray J did something to my niece, and I'm going to tell you all about that. Yes, they were all involved. There were too many people running around that hotel doing things to my sister and my niece. I'm so sorry, you all. But it's the truth. As God is my witness. So I'm trying to just set the record straight and let you guys know that I don't want people lying to you. And you thinking that, no, they died from overdoses and stuff. No, that didn't happen. Whitney Houston never got in bathtubs. Anyway, I said that in the beginning. I let you all know that.
Red flag 1.
I was very serious. And I've been saying this since day one. I knew it was something wrong. Well, first of all, the red flags raised with me when I saw Pat Houston on Oprah, looking Oprah in the face and lying to her, saying that she was Whitney's manager. No, Pat Houston, as God is my witness, she is not Whitney's manager, never was.
Another lie, allegedly.
And anybody that's allowing her to lie like that has to be down with it. I mean, come on, why? We're going to have to face some facts, you guys. We're going to have to face some facts with all due respect to each and every one of them that I mentioned. I don't hate anybody. I just hate wrongdoing. That's all. I hate wrongdoing done by us, our own people, doing this to us. We have to stop this. We have to stop this. Have I forgiven everybody? You got that right. Leolah has that kind of heart. I have to forgive them because they are my brothers and sisters. I have to do that. If I say that I'm a believer in God, I have to do that. So yes, I forgave Pat Houston. I forgave Gary Houston. I forgave Ray J. I forgave everybody. I forgave Nick Gordon. I forgave everybody for what they did. But that does not mean that they won't be punished by God. That doesn't mean that. I just have to have my heart right. Because they are my brothers and sisters. But yes, they did do this. They did some evil things to Bobbi, Christina, and Whitney. And it's very wrong. And it needs to be told. The truth needs to be told. At the end of the day, no matter who doesn't like it, no matter who doesn't believe it, it is still going to stand as the truth. I'm not saying this to try to convince you all. I'm not trying to get you to I'm not trying to sound convincing to you. I'm just telling you the truth. You can take it or leave it. It's up to you. But that is what happened. Whitney Houston had too many marks on her body. You don't find a body with all the skin off, and she had skin off of her back, her foot swollen, and fingernails chipped, bloody lip, puffed out face.
Defense wounds.
Marks up and down her body. Whitney. Gashes all up and down.
If you hear anything about nails being cracked up, especially a celebrity, you know she kept her nails up. But if you got some kind of, you were defending yourself and your nails look like that, yeah, that's what it sounds like to me, allegedly. I know I got to say that.
Her chest. And I told you guys, I took her pictures to a professional body kickboxing trainer in Buckhead, Georgia. And
listen to what he said.
Leolah, those are kicks. Somebody was kicking Whitney. Whitney had many defensive wounds. Yes, Whitney was fighting for her life in that room, in that hotel room. And Bobbi Christina, she fought hard. She didn't want to leave here. She didn't want to leave this world. Pat knew that. And she manipulated the law. How did she get custody over my niece?
Go ahead.
50-50 with my brother, her father. Where do they do that at? Somebody. Somebody to take over Chrissy full custody right away because the judge ordered her into a program. She called me. She said, I'm not doing it with nobody else but my sister Leolah. And
wait, hold on. How long did you lose the sound? Let me put it back up. Hold on.
Our family. Pat Houston has no blood.
No water, right? Fixing the leak.
Pat Garland. Okay? Pat Garland. Watson. Yeah. She has no blood. So who gave her 50-50? Guardianship? What? I am the one that had legal, full custody, court ordered, chosen by Whitney. Know this, but I'm not fighting. I'm not fighting over Whitney's estate. I'm not doing that. I'm not fighting nobody over nothing. I'm just speaking.
Wait. You guys can't hear the video either? Can you not hear the video either? Can you hear the video?
That's the teeth. That's going to all three.
No sound. You can't hear the video. What's going on?
I got a coupling though.
Hold on.
So
You hear me now? Okay, let me go ahead and let me put it back on. Tell me if you hear her. Put a thumbs up or whatever in the chat.
Legal. Full custody. Find a body with all the skin off, and she had skin off of her back, her foot swollen, and fingernails chipped, bloody lip, puffed out face, marks up and down her body. Whitney. Gashes all up and down her chest. And I told you guys, I took her pictures to a professional body kickboxing trainer in Buckhead, Georgia. And she said, Leolah, those are kicks. Somebody was kicking Whitney. Whitney had many defensive wounds. Yes, Whitney was fighting for her life in that room, in that hotel room. And Bobbi Christina, she fought hard. She didn't want to leave here. She didn't want to leave this world. Pat knew that. And she manipulated the law. How did she get custody over my niece? Half, 50-50 with my brother, her father. Where do they do that at? Somebody
50-50, but her father is alive. I don't get that part. Like, how did you? Yeah, that's what I wanted to know as well. What do you guys think about that? She has, I'm talking about Pat. I'm not talking about Leolah. Pat has 50-50 of Christina. Bobbi Christina's, she gets 50-50. Like she's going to be with the dad, which is Bobby Brown Sr., okay? And Pat, 50-50. Like they get 50-50 custody. I don't get that part because she doesn't need custody if he's still around. This part, I don't get that part. So, yeah, allegedly, she probably did talk to a judge, pay off a judge. We got a lot of corrupted judges and politicians, cops. It's a lot of people, y'all. There's a lot of corrupted celebrities, corrupted human beings, parents, family, all that. So We don't know, allegedly, what she's saying is true or not, okay? Because think about it. There's so much going on right out there in this world. All right, let me go ahead and start this video again. This is ridiculous.
Somebody that's a stranger to our family. Pat Houston has no blood.
No blood.
Pat Garland.
Okay? Pat Garland Watson.
Pat Garland Watson is her name.
She has no blood. So who
Whitney
gave her
Houston is her
50-50?
Her name's not Houston, obviously.
Guardianship? What? I am the one that had legal.
Houston is from the daddy.
Court ordered. Chosen by Whitney. When they threw Whitney up against the wall and said, you got to find somebody to take over Chrissy, full custody right away, because the judge ordered her into a program. She called me. She said, I'm not doing.
Okay, so that sounds like when Whitney, okay, allegedly, when Whitney, my opinion, my thoughts, when Whitney was doing stuff that she wasn't supposed to be doing, the Uggs, right? Because they did say she was doing Uggs, allegedly. We don't know because we're not a fly on the wall. She had to give up guardianship till she got straight. Is this what we're getting? Is this what's going on here? So instead of Pat, which is who she said Whitney gave her custody, her and Bobbi Brown, if anything happens, then that's who's going to take care of Bobbi, Christina. So what you're telling me is now these papers are illegally done? Because if it's a corrupted judge and she was able to get 50-50 with Bobbi Brown, even though he's still around, I don't see why she would get 50-50. That part I don't get. Somebody got to explain that to me. Together, if you know anything about this, yeah, let me know, because, yeah, that's some mess right there.
Doing it with nobody else but my sister Leolah. And I came. And I signed papers with Whitney in front of her attorneys. Pat Houston was present. She was there standing in the corner in the dark with her hands just standing there. Yes. They all know this. But I'm not fighting. I'm not fighting over Whitney's estate. I'm not doing that. I'm not fighting nobody over nothing. I'm just speaking the truth. I'm going to tell the truth because I don't fear anybody but God. I'm not somebody that's going to not speak out. That's not who I am. I fear none but Allah. But that is the truth. I had to set the record straight for you all because I don't want you all walking around blindly believing all these lies being told. Whitney Houston suffered. She suffered. And I'm going to tell you in my book how I believe she took her last breath. It's evident. It's evident. And I want to know what Pat Houston and Gary Houston was taking out of them rooms when her body was found. My nephew said they were running back and forth real fast, taking stuff from out of the room, back and forth, from the room that Whitney was found
allegedly.
in. What was you all doing, Pat and Gary? Come on now. You don't touch a crime scene. You're not supposed to do that.
At all.
Your brother Ray had already told me the room looked like a tornado hit it. Did it look like that when the authorities came? Or did you and Gary fix the room up for the police so that they could say that, oh, there's no foul play? Is that what you all did? Because you all did that.
Hey, media, how are you?
And you know that's wrong. You cannot tamper with evidence like that. No. And you all just did all of that moving around about freely without any worries. As my sister laid there dead. Well, Nick sure was going to tell on you. Because he said it. He said, I'm not going down for Pat. I saved her with Whitney. So what did he save you about, Pat? What did he save you? What did you do to Whitney? Because you are taller than her. You are much bigger than Whitney. Whitney can fight. I don't know what you can do, but you are tall. But I believe that it was more than one. I believe Whitney had to fight two people. I really do.
So I take it that Pat Houston, Pat Houston is Houston's dad's wife. So that would be her stepmom. That's what I'm getting, allegedly.
It's telling me 2 people attacked.
She said
Whitney.
she's not her
At
blood.
least 2 people.
Yeah, she wasn't fucking going out without a fight.
Of course she wouldn't go out without a fight. And you all did all of that to my niece. Don't you know that there's a God? There is a God.
They're gonna be in
and he's a
trouble
just
with
God. Justice does not sleep.
Does not sleep at all.
God, I hope that God is resting my sister, my niece, and my nephew. I had to tell you guys what the real deal was. I had to set the record straight because I don't want to hear nobody else say nothing about Whitney Houston and no drugs. Stop it. Stop it.
Please.
Stop talking about that. And you know what? The media, I was reading something earlier today. I'm going to find out who it was. But I'm going to stop suing people. I'm going to stop suing you left and right. Because it doesn't make any sense. Michael Houston sat on Oprah's show with Mama Sissy Houston, and he told the whole world that he was the first one to introduce Whitney to drugs.
No,
you all know
that's
very
Bobby
well that
Brown's
Bobby has
sister.
nothing to do with that. And you all still want to write that up and put that in the media, put that out there to give somebody. I seen some YouTube bloggers do that. What is wrong with you all?
Period.
Bobby has nothing to do with that. You don't even know what went on in their home. I do. I was there.
Yes,
I lived with them.
Yes,
and I watched them throughout the whole time, the whole drug ordeal.
Yes.
Neither one of them ever put a pipe to their mouth, first of all. Okay?
Period.
Neither one of them ever.
Let them know, girl. Let them know.
You all think you know things and you don't. So Bobby and Whitney was not crackheads. No, they were not. Never. You all got to stop saying this stuff. Stop it. You don't know what Bobby did for Whitney. Whitney's father loved my brother, okay? He knew the man that Bobby Brown was for Whitney Houston. And Alicia, to your father may not be pleased with Bobby, but John Houston, a man of intelligence, loved Bobby Brown. And he loved Bobby for Whitney, for his daughter, yes. Okay, so your father's opinion does not count. It does not matter with us.
It don't matter. It doesn't matter.
You all need to stop this mess. I'm tired of you all attacking my brother and saying things about him in the media. You don't know him. You don't know Bobby Brown. So keep his name out your mouth, please. Keep his name out your mouth. If you want to say something, say something. I'm going to give you all some good things to say about him in a minute because I'm writing a book about Bobby Brown and all the good things that he's done in his life. All the good and wonderful things that he's done for so many people. People that we can't even count. We can't even count. And he didn't do small things for them. He did big things for them. Excuse me. So stop talking about my brother. Please. Say something nice for a change. Please, God. Because when you talk about people, God doesn't like that. No.
Sure don't. He don't like ugly.
No. Especially when you're not speaking the truth.
Right.
It's called gossip. That's what it's called. I'm not gossiping. I'm speaking out. I am defending my family members with truth. And right now, I'm about done with this one. But I have a lot of things that I'm going to share with this world. I'm sorry. I'm getting ready to shock you guys. I'm coming. And every day, I'm going to put out a video. Every day I'm going to come, even if I say just a little bit. You're going to hear from Leolah. Excuse me. You're going to hear from Leolah. Yes. May all of you have a wonderful evening. I just wanted to get that out and let you know that no, Whitney Houston, Bobbi Christina Brown, and Bobby Brown Jr. did not have any drugs in this system that killed them. No, there was no drugs in their system. That little boy, Bobby Jr. didn't have anything in his system that he put in personally.
Right.
No, somebody gave him something.
Right.
Somebody gave Bobbi Christina something. Whitney? Wait until this book comes out and you hear about Whitney Houston. You have no idea what this book is about. But I'm going to tell you all. It's the best book ever written. The best written. Oh, yeah, because it's all true.
Excuse me.
Have a blessed evening. I love all of you guys. Bye.
Okay, that's it. That's it. What do y'all think about this? Excuse me. What do y'all think about this? I know that Bobbi Brown had something to say. Let me see if I can find that. Bobbi Brown. Let's see what he has to say. Anyway. All right, you guys, that's all I wanted to give you guys a little information about that. But what do you guys think about what I just showed y'all? What do you guys think? I'm trying to find that. Yeah, I found it. So this is, if anybody's interested, not today, because I want to go over it before I share it with you guys. This is Whitney Houston's autopsy. They put on here apparent accident, whatever. Anyway, so that's what they have on this autopsy. I have to read it, and then we're going to see, yeah, we're going to see if they, what they said on there. Yeah, I don't have the, it doesn't have no fair use on here, you know that. But fair use, fair use, fair use. Hold on. And this is the daughters. Hold on, let me see if I can pull it up for you. I can see what I see. Okay, so that one is a little bit shorter, but this is the one they have for her, which is the daughter. Fair use, fair use, fair use, fair use. There you go. See, it's got Bobbi Brown on there. Female. Yep. There you go. I would have to do something with it so I don't get a copyright. But yeah, that's their autopsies for Bobbi Christina Brown and Whitney Houston. I didn't find one for Bobbi Brown Jr. yet. I'm pretty sure it's out there. Pretty sure that. Just got to find it. So what do you guys think about what you heard today? Do you guys believe what she said? Or do you think she's just coming up with stuff to write a book? I believe her. My opinion, my thoughts on it. I mean, I'm not going to say 100% because I'm not a fly on the wall and I don't know. So what y'all think? All right, you guys, I'm only going to do an hour today, and then I'm going to get off, and then I'm going to come back and do some, hey, Miss Mita, sorry. So yeah, what do you think? Together, media, Jermaine, Miss Chicago. Who else is in here? And for those that are in here, whoever's in here, you guys have, what do you think about what's going on with this case, with this situation? Do you believe this? Do you think it's she came up with it? This is something to think about. Yeah. I listened to it like 3 times yesterday while I was editing. And, you know, when you edit, you got to listen to it over and over and over and add things to it. And I was just like, wow, what is really going on here? So I had to share it with you guys. So the next thing I'm going to be doing is breaking news, but I'm not going to, I don't know if they have, some of them have videos and some of them don't have videos. I'm going to do that one on EVMUX, and then I'll read the titles of it, like the story, the different cases that's going on. There's a lot going on, y'all. There's a lot going on. I got so many emails. It's not even funny. It's crazy. But yeah, so I don't know. I feel like the reason why I believe her is, you know how they say when you tell the truth, you can't, things don't change. Like the truth is the truth, right? You might put it in like you could reverse some of the descriptions or whatever, but it's still going to be the same, right? But when you're lying, you add things, you ad lib, because you're lying. This lady has been saying this for years. Nothing has changed. Yeah, but the more people that believe it, maybe. I honestly just walked in from running my errands. You did? Oh, you're done? That was fast. That was fast. So, I don't know. Like I said, people who lie ad lib. They put words in. They change things up. It's never the same. But when you're telling the truth, the truth is the truth. You can't change it. You can't change the truth, but you can definitely change a lie. Because it's never going to be the same. You timed the traffic lights? Oh, okay. I know what you're talking about from earlier. You're funny. Oh, excuse me. I hope that wasn't too loud. I just swallowed water. Sometimes water goes down like it's like a hard swallow, but good Lord. Anyway, so I had to go put some lemon in here. I drank some of the water out already, so I can put some lemon and cranberry juice mix. Yeah, that's another thing. Y'all could go look at that video because I did a short on spring water. I use spring water. Y'all can use whatever water you want. She said it's going to be the best book ever. That's what she said. Here we go with the lemon again. Seriously, I am. I did a short. I showed y'all. I did a short. I put a half a bottle of spring water, a half a cup of cranberry juice, and a quarter of a cup of lemon, 100% lemon juice. And I shake it real well. I'll drink 2 of these in a day. Sometimes I'll drink 3, but most of the time I just drink 2. And the rest of the time I'll just drink water. No. Okay, no, we're not going to start that. Not in here. We're not having fun in here. This is serious. All right, you guys. I appreciate y'all for coming, but I will come back on. If you guys want to just chit chat, we can do that. We can just chit chat. I'm going to go get the robot and y'all can look at the colors. I'm going to do it on my phone. I'm not going to do it on the computer. I don't mean that. Stop saying that. That's not what I was saying. I was saying 100% lemon juice. The lemon juice that says 100%. It could be any kind of water. Yeah, that's why I said I drink spring water. You can drink whatever water you want. I did a video on a couple of years ago. It works. Mix watching you. Yes. It works. That's what I put in there. I just added cranberry juice to it because women, we do need our cranberry juice. Just saying, we do need cranberry juice. So if y'all want to sit here and chit chat about this lemon proof mess, yeah, I have to do another live. Okay, so you guys, thank you for coming. Y'all have a great day. Like I always say, you ain't got to go home, but you got to get up out of here. See ya. Bye. What'd you say? We're talking to a black screen. That's okay as long as you can hear me. That's our Halloween costume. That's right. That's right. I'm gonna do the what you call it on my phone. I'm gonna do it on my phone. You won't have a black screen. All right, you guys. Y'all have a great day. Thank you. And again, like I always say, you ain't got to go home, but you got to get up out of here. See ya. Bye.